Hey everyone, this is Combat Lobster, and today we're playing Iconoclasts for the PC. This is an action puzzle platformer that's been in development for quite some time, and it's actually kinda good to finally see it released. Now before we start a new game, there's one thing I need to do in the settings real fast. And that is to change the gamepad from Xbox One to, I guess, miscellaneous. And the reason being is that even though I'm using an Xbox One controller, I also want to use custom controls, so I'm using a third-party app to do that. And the reason I'm doing that will be explained later in the series. But anyways, now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and start a new game. So right out of the box we have two difficulty modes. Standard is just your normal mode, where you play the game as intended. And harder mode, which makes enemies do more damage, and there's also less health pickups, and there are also additional enemy placements throughout the game world. And lastly, there's challenge mode, which unlocks after beating the game. And basically, challenge mode is just harder mode, except you die in one hit. Anyways, let's quit dawdling around and select harder mode. And we start off being awoken by a very loud rumbling. We should probably head outside and investigate. Alright, so, to quickly go over the controls, we can move around, we can jump, and we're also equipped with a stun gun, which we can shoot by hitting the shoot button. And over here is an icon of prayer, and we can interact with it to save our game. It can also do some other stuff too, but we haven't unlocked that ability yet. So for now, it just saves our game. Alright, let's see here. Let's override this file. Alright, so I think that loud rumbling was coming from this way, so let's head in that direction. So on top of jumping, we also have the ability to grab ledges, alternatively, while hanging from a ledge, you can hit the direction opposite of where you're facing and hit jump, and you'll jump over to the next ledge. And here's our introduction to enemies. These little dudes don't really do much of anything except just get in your way, so let's just blast them. Now you'll notice, while I was shooting, that the gun automatically points towards the nearest enemy, which is really handy for hitting enemies at strange angles. Also note that your stun gun shots can pass through walls. And over here is a blue chest. Inside of this is something very valuable, at least to us. And the item we got was some crafting material, which we'll be able to use a little later. Can't really blast through that. Oh wells. However, we can blast through this by using our stun gun's secondary function. By holding down the shoot button, we can charge up and let out a big blast. However, that does come at a cost, because once you use it, your gun's going to overheat and you have to wait for it to cool down before you can use it again. Well, looky here. Looks like a blue key of some kind. And to pick it up, we'd simply have to stand on top of it and hit up. And then we can carry it around to this chest with a lock on it. And then all we have to do is just hit down to unlock it. You can also simply just throw the key, and that works too. Oh, that looks like a tight spot. Luckily, we have the ability to get through those tight spaces by simply crawling. And what we found was more crafting material. There aren't a whole lot of different types of crafting material, but I basically just boil it down to what shape it is. So we got a cube and some triangles. Anyways, I think this is where that loud noise was coming from. Oh hey, there's a hole down there. I wonder what's down there. Well, only one way to find out. And now we're at our first boss fight, the controller. Now, the controller only has really two moves. This one move where it will shoot up from the middle, and then it will immediately fall down from where you're last standing. And the only other move that it has is this bouncing down the stairs move, which are both pretty easy to dodge once you see them. Doesn't look like our stun gun's doing a lot of damage. Might have to kick it up a notch by doing a charge shot. And that's what I recommend you do to make this go by a little quicker, is to use your charge shots. Because it does a lot of damage for the small window that you have to damage the controller. And once it reaches half health, it switches over to phase 2, where it stops doing the other two attacks and just starts ramming the sides of the arena. Now in harder mode, there is an extra fireball effect that also damages you if it touches you. Now obviously this is not present in standard mode, so you have to be aware of that when you're doing this mode. Well, mystery solved. Took care of that. Now let's head home and find out what's in the fridge. Now here's the tutorial on crawling, but we already kind of know how to do that. But there's a couple other ways you can do this move. You can also use the left trigger to crouch. But also, you can simply just walk up to a tight spot and you will automatically crawl. which is very convenient. Alright, it's chow time. Well, except it's not, because we have some unexpected visitors from one concern. Better go find out what they want. Heh, shows how much you know. Most of the time you don't twist the nuts, you twist the heads of the screw bolt. Well anyways, it was a good thing they didn't try to search for contraband, otherwise we would have found this. Our trusty wrench. So with the wrench, we can now swing it like a club. We can also twirl it by holding down the wrench button. On top of that, we'll find various bolts in the world, which we can use our wrench to latch onto. Now, by not hitting anything, we can just hang here all day if we want to. And if you want to get off, you simply just have to jump. And the jumping distance is pretty much the same whether or not you are actually moving while you were doing this, or if you did it while stationary. So don't sweat the details on that. Also, if you keep moving while doing this, Robin will automatically do the jump for you, and you don't have to hit the jump button at all, which is pretty convenient. Well, anyways, we're going to have to figure out what to do next, because obviously we can't stay here. Well, we could go to Settlement 17. We do know a lot of people there, and surely someone there would help us out. Well, that's the best I got. I guess we're going to be doing that plan then. So, using what we know, we can swing up to that ledge up there by using our wrench. And now we can get up here for a treasure chest. Now, if you ever want to get down really quickly, you can use the momentum produced by your charge shot to quickly shoot yourself towards the ground. In fact, there's a lot of things you can do with the momentum produced by your charge shot. For example, you can use it to give yourself a speed boost while running. Anyways, Settlement 17 is this way. Well, we're already breaking the law. What's another one to us? So here's another type of bolt that we can use a wrench on. It's a sort of a switch-like bolt. So all we have to do is just grab it with a wrench, and then hit down, or hit the wrench button, to turn. And now the gate's open. Now sometimes, some bolts will be obscured by objects in the world, like this block here. Luckily, we have a means to get rid of that block, by using our ground pound. And to do it, all we have to do is hit down and jump while jumping, and we will do a grand stomp on this block here, which gives us access to the bolt. The ground pound can also go through multiple breakable objects, like these two blocks here. Not only that, but we can also use it on enemies, like this lava turtle thing. And here's a sign that just lets you know that you can use your wrench as a melee weapon. And your wrench is pretty powerful, provided that you don't use the twirl attack. Now that might sound confusing because the twirl attack hits multiple times, however, you're doing less damage than you would if you just tap the wrench button over and over again. You can also use your wrench as a sort of parry move. Anytime you see these little green symbols appear around an enemy, that means their attack can be parried by your wrench. Like so. Huh, something's up with this door. It's not lighting up green. That's because some doors don't stay permanently open. Now you'll notice that sometimes when you defeat an enemy, the word overstun appears. What that's basically saying is that you're doing an overkill. meaning that you do more damage than the enemy has health. There is a reason why you would want to use it, but for now, it's just a little graphic that shows up every now and again. Uh-oh, I think we locked ourselves in here, because this bolt is being locked by a padlock. Let's see. Maybe there's a key around here somewhere. Well, at least we can get the door out of here open. Also, this is a zip line, but we can't use it right now because we don't have the ability to make use out of it. So we'll have to remember that's there. Whoa, hey! Watch out for that deer. It can charge and it can do a homing attack. But fortunately for us, it was holding the key to that padlock, and that's what those padlock keys look like, as opposed to the blue ones for the chest. Now let's get out of here. The security around here is pretty tight. A little too tight if you ask me. Unfortunately, we won't be going up because this pillar is down. We're gonna have to figure out a way to get that up somehow. Well, let's start by dropping down to here. Hey! Alright, that was pretty easy. Unfortunately, we can't just jump out now. So we'll have to go all the way around. So there's a trick you can use on these ladders. While grabbing onto one, if you hold the wrench button, you'll actually climb them faster. So you'll notice that the key to that chest is all the way down there. So we can grab it and just toss it on up there, but now we can't get up there, and I don't really feel like going all the way around, so we'll use one cool trick that I know, and it involves using a charge shot, except this time we shoot it downwards, and it will give us some extra height to our jump. It's essentially a double jump if you think about it. And we got the third type of crafting item, which is circle, or electric circle. And we went through all that trouble to get over here, so we might as well open that door. Alright, Settlement 17 is just within reach. We're in the home stretch. However, someone has put a padlock on this bolt. So now we gotta go find the key. Huh, I wonder what this bolt does. Well, hang on. Wonder what this bolt does. Ah, makes that move. Okay. So, does that mean this one makes that other one move? Yes, it does. Alright. However, we won't just stay up, so we're gonna have to be really quick about it. There we go. And now, we can get up here. And here's one of the few enemies that cannot be destroyed. At least, not without a little bit of clever thinking. But yeah, you really can't destroy it. All you can really do is just parry its attack, and that's it. Well, we got the key. Let's get on out of here and head towards Settlement 17. Alright, made it. Let's head on in.